Hi everybody, John here from All Miniatures Great and Small, and today we're going to be unboxing Speed Freaks. This is a Warhammer 40k game, high-speed combat in the 41st millennium. So Speed Freaks is in a lot of ways the spiritual successor to Gorka Morka, and it incorporates orcs and cars, which is always a lot of fun. This box runs about $150 US retail. Online you can find it for a lot cheaper. So what do you get in your box? Well, it's a pretty big box. Flip it over, and on the back we have an example here with all the models. We get a 24-page core manual, 12 data cards, 48 damage cards, 24 custom job cards, 4 folded card game boards, double-sided, 2 Speed Freak dashboards and screens, 2 sheets of Speed Freak tokens and movement templates, plastic range ruler, and dice. Also included is an Ork custom Boosta Blasta, an Ork shock jump dragster, 6 Ork warbikers and bases, and 1 Ork Barricades scenery sprue. So that's what you get in the box. So we're going to go ahead and open it up and take a look at the contents. Just kind of wanted to point out here with this box, it's almost like they didn't expect this to be quite so full. The lid doesn't come all the way down because this box is heavy and jam-packed full of stuff. All right, well, hey, the first thing I noticed, I didn't expect it, is we've got colored plastic. And there's definitely a different smell to this box than I have in other Games Workshop games. I don't know if it has to do with the colored plastic or not, but that's interesting. So we'll take a look at all the sprues in a little bit more detail, but this looks like a bike sprue. More bike sprues. So maybe they color coded both of the sides yellow and red. And again, we'll take a closer look at those frames in just a minute. This must be that scenery. That's pretty cool. And there's another one of the vehicles. And we have a cool picture protecting the rest of the contents from the plastic to keep them from getting scraped. So these are the boards. Very cool. That's a significant part of the weight right there. That's a lot of cardboard. Bases for the vehicles. Lots of bases for the war bikes. A sample chapter from a Warhammer book. Dice. Cards. Damage deck. Screens. Assembly guides for the vehicles, and looks like 40k stats. And this is the rule book. Very thin rule book. That's cool. So it's yet to be seen if this game is actually any good, or this is just a affordable way to get more models into your orc army. Then we have counters. So these are maneuver templates. If anyone has played X-Wing, or more appropriately Gaslands, these are not going to be anything new to you guys. So there you go. And then we have, I don't know if you can see that, a plastic ruler. This is the second game in a row where we have this plastic clear ruler. Adeptus Titanicus has this as well. Of course, this has checkerboards for the theme. So there you go. We're going to go ahead and put all this to the side and take a look at those plastic frames. All right, so the first thing we're going to look at is the Ork Barricade sprue. So it's always cool to get some scenery in here. This is a real shiny plastic, which is interesting. I don't know if that's part of this colored plastic. Very cool. Got some big pieces on this. Just big piles of scrap. Very cool. So you get basically 2 frames worth of that. Right, so next up, these are some Warbiker frames. You get identical sets here. I mean, this is just a different color, red and yellow, but it's the same frame, and you can see the war bikes. Flipping it over, you can see some cool tire detail there. It's a really big choppa. Very cool. Got some heads there. All right, so those 2 frames are the same. Then you've got these bigger frames. You've got 2 of those. And this has another bike, the drivers, various pieces for the bikers. And then we have the frames for the 2 vehicles themselves. And these are kind of the stars of the whole game, really. So really a lot of cool stuff here. Let's take a look at this red one first. Very cool stuff. I'm assuming this one is the dragster. Alright, so the rules, as we mentioned earlier, they look pretty straightforward. Very nice rule book. Full color. Missions. Campaign rules. The showroom. That's pretty cool. These are some of the extra vehicles you can buy. I really like that one. Alright, so what we'll do is we're going to go ahead and assemble one or both of these vehicles and then come back with our thoughts on the plastics and on the game. Alright, I thought I'd kind of expand our review, and we assembled all of the parts for the game. I wanted to set it out and show you what you get in the box. We're also going to play an introductory game here in a little bit. We're not going to do it on camera, but just to get an idea of how it plays, and if we like it, we'll do some more content. But we can see all the content you get in your Speed Freaks box. So there are 2 big vehicles, which we already looked at the frames for, assembled. I haven't put everything on there, like I haven't glued the top on this big guy yet, because for painting purposes. But so not everything's on there, but it's going to be enough to play and enough to give you an idea. So the contents of the box again were those 2 really cool cars and 6 bikes. And then you get this cool, these are 4 panels that fold up, really nicely textured. It's matte, so there's not too much of a glare from the light, which I really like. And it looks like it's maybe a little over 3 feet, almost 4 feet by by 2.5 or 3 feet. So not too bad. And then also all the terrain bits. All of this is in the plastic that comes in the box. So you know what you're seeing here is for those hobbyists that don't care to paint, they just want to play a game. That's what they're going to get. So we have some of the contents here all spread out haphazardly to see. Maneuver templates, damage cards, all the dice that you need, your Speed Freaks dice, and the little shields to hide your dice deployment. So there you go. Contents wise, I kind of really am digging this. I don't know if I'm going to build a full-fledged Ork army, but it's kind of tempting to pick up the other cool cars that came out with this release. There's a couple of other vehicles that do different things in this game, and we'll see. So that might be fun just to do it for Speed Freaks itself. And then it gives me maybe a small army in 40K that I could crush some people with that wouldn't expect me to be playing orcs. Yeah. So there you go. We'll be back with our final thoughts after we get a game or two in on Speed Freaks.
All right, everybody. So we're at the final part of the review. I've got Jacob in the studio. We played a game of Speed Freaks. I was about to say Gaslands. We played a game of Speed Freaks just to kind of see how it played. And I'll start with you, Jacob. Initial opinion of the game, just the game itself.
I like it. A lot of times I feel like some of these games are there to sell the models. I love these models, but I think this is a good little, I mean, it's a fun game. Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. It's pretty fun. As we were playing, it's like I'm enjoying myself. So that's a good sign.
And it's not normal when you play me, so that's
true. And it's not always the case when I play these Games Workshop one-off games. So it was good. So we played, and spoiler, the bad, no, not bad.
Evil Sons.
Evil Sons defeated the Bad Moons. Jake killed me with his. I don't know. This thing here seems pretty powerful.
It does.
The custom booster blaster, that was terrifying. So now, what do you think about the models with this range?
So I'm very biased. In high school, so when I first started playing 40K in high school, the first army that I kind of painted was a Speed Freaks army. That was when Armageddon had just come out. So it's an army that's been dear to my heart. I've actually just started repainting a brand new Speed Freaks army 6 or 7 months ago before any of this was even came out. So this is right up my alley, and I love the buggies. A couple of them they had to grow on them, so I think these are beautiful. I think they're good replacements, and you know, everyone needs more Ork bikers. So I think, you know, if you break down the cost, it's $150, I think, for the box.
Oh yeah, retail $150.
Yeah, $150. So it's more than I was expecting more of a discount, but I think kind of everything given, I'm happy.
Because I think individually these are $45.
$45, yeah.
Retail, yeah.
And these aren't available separately, so
Gotcha.
I don't know how much of a premium you get.
And do you know how much they sell 3 war bikes for?
I think it's $45, but I'd have to find out.
So that's a decent.
Yeah, I mean, you're getting a free set of bikers.
Almost,
and,
yeah.
And there's a fun game.
And some terrain. I mean, the terrain that comes with it, and it's not a lot, but it's kind of cool and flavorful, and it'll surely paint up nicely.
Yeah.
So 150. If just the game, would it be worth it, or you think just for Ork players?
If you like Gaslands and you don't want to make your own cars, and you somewhat enjoy Orks and/or just prefer GW models, I think I would do that rather than Gaslands. This is also easier to get out of the, everything's in the box. You don't have to try that hard. So yeah, that's mine.
Well, I don't know, comparing it to Gaslands, Gaslands has a very low entry point.
It does, but I think it requires a lot of effort.
45 Hot Wheels cars. Right here. 45 Hot Wheels cars.
But
90 Hot Wheels cars.
I'm saying, from the standpoint of a very lazy person who doesn't want to make his own, go to a Photoshop my town, or go to get a photocopy.
There is a do-it-yourself element to Gaslands, and this is all here for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very true.
Also, I'm a GW fanboy. I just love their models.
Well, and I gotta say, I like the models are cool, and I like the fact that this simple game has you can do 4-player, and it seems like 4-player would be fun.
Yeah.
Like if you have an afternoon or finish a 40K game early, you could throw out, set this up and play really quickly.
Because I've never played. I watched some reviews before this, but we finished a game in an hour, less than an hour.
Yeah, it was about an hour and 15, and
Okay.
we were looking at the rule book half the time. So,
Yeah.
and I'm sure we did a lot of stuff wrong, but we got enough right that I think we can make a good judgment call on it.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So there you go. There are our initial thoughts on Speed Freaks, the game, the models that you get. Hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please let us know down in the comments below. As always, give us a like and subscribe. Check us out on Facebook at All Miniatures Great and Small. As always, thanks for watching, and keep on wargaming.